The next postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight against Philly, Mitchell Robinson dominant, 21 points, 16 rebounds. But the Sixers, even though Joel Embiid was out because of illness, they have some weapons, including the rookie VJ Edgecombe. On the board there, the rookie had 23 points, and the Sixers prevail 116 to 107. Great to have you with us here, Bill Pidto and Wally Szczerbiak. So the Knicks lose on their home court for only the second time all season. Fatigue seemed to be a big factor tonight.
Yes.
But also, I think Philadelphia, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Paul George is aging. You can't necessarily count on Joel Embiid, but they have a lot of talent on this team.
Yeah, Nick Nurse plays a frenetic style. He changes defenses, really pressures the passing lanes, tries to create a ton of turnovers, and that's exactly what he did with a fatigued Knicks team. I think the Knicks made a valiant effort to try to get themselves into this game. It came down to a couple shots that Jalen normally makes. You could tell he didn't have his legs. He's gassed mentally and physically with the schedule the way it's been. But this Philly team is now 15-11. They're close to the Knicks in the standings. They're getting healthier, so the Knicks got to pay attention to the Sixers.
Sixers hadn't played since Sunday. That, no doubt, was a factor in the decisive fourth quarter. The biggest lead any team had, 9 points. That's how close it was, as the Sixers were able to win the fourth quarter 28-20. That was basically the difference in the game.
VJ Edgecombe, holy smokes. What a performance by the diaper dandy, so to speak. He was outstanding in this game. Mitchell Robinson was outstanding, too. Just dominated the boards, made his free throws. At one point, he was 6 for 7 from the line, and he ended up 7 for 8 from the free throw line. But McCain coming off the bench, healthy now, knocking down shots. Tyrese Maxey, the game looks easy. I mean, he just looks like he's skating out there on the floor. How quickly he gets to his spots, how easily he releases that jumper. He got to 30 points. He averages 32 a game, and VJ Edgecombe, the rookie, just making huge plays at the world's most famous arena. He's a Long Island guy, played right down the road, high school basketball at Lehigh, and boy, what a homecoming. Bridges knocked down 2 huge threes back-to-back in the fourth quarter, try to keep the Knicks in the game. This was a huge bucket that extended the lead to 6. Andre Drummond making his free throws. I'm not used to that. And then there goes VJ Edgecombe. Big-time finish off the miss by Maxey. What a performance by the rookie, and a big win for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Three-point shooting key. Sixers make 17. The Knicks made only 8. The Knicks outboarded the Sixers by 21, but key number here. The Sixers got 16 points off of turnovers. Knicks only got 2 points off of turnovers, and that's a key number. When have you seen a team outboard another team by 21 and yet lose a game?
Yeah,
that's odd, huh?
That's odd, and that's the possession game that Mike Brown always talks about. You know, Mitchell Robinson is such a difference maker, and no Joel Embiid. He just ran roughshod underneath, just dominating the glass. But it was an energy game, the reason why I think Philly won this one. They just had the fresher legs, the faster legs, the quicker legs. 18 turnovers for the Knicks. They just looked like they were running in a little bit of quicksand. They couldn't get into their offense. As a result, they kind of turned the ball over a few too many times, and the Sixers make you pay.
Number that really indicates the potential Knicks fatigue. Jalen Brunson, only 1 of 7 from downtown. Star of the game for the Knicks, no doubt, Mitchell Robinson. Season high 21 points, season high 16 rebounds, played 26 minutes, and he is the subject of our thrilling moment presented by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Mitchell Robinson, best game of the year. Played a lot with Cat, Wally. I think it's the most we've seen him play with Cat, and it was effective for a large part of the game.
And the stat of the night is 7 for 8 from the free throw line, like I mentioned. He was all over the place. The stroke looked good. He was just rolling to the basket, and the Knicks were finding him. Just a dominant performance. And I love the way Mike Brown said, if you're going to play small and go after all these steals and turnovers, I'm going to pound you on the boards. And that's exactly what the Knicks did. The Knicks just could not get their three-point shooting to go consistently. Jalen Brunson, you mentioned it, 1 for 7 from 3 and 7 for 22 from the field. But Mitchell Robinson, that rest obviously benefited him not playing last night, because he came out like he was shot out of a cannon tonight here at home. The crowd loves what he brings every single night here at the world's most famous arena. That was an impressive performance by Mitchell Robinson, and it's a great sign to see him healthy, because he's such a great guy. Having been through injuries, it's misery when you're banged up and you're hurt. But to see him playing up to his potential because he's healthy, I'm just really happy. happy for him. That's a good thing to see.
So Robinson 21-16 and Cat 22-11. How about that productivity out of the two bigs here?
That's big time. And defensively, I think those guys are working well together, and I think they did a pretty good job of making Philadelphia work. The activity level is huge, and Mike Brown's really good at coaching big guys. I remember we had two big guys when I played for him, Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Ben Wallace, and they were on the floor dominating the glass every single night. So this is something that we might be able to see in the future. Karl Anthony Towns, it looked like he had fresh legs coming off not playing last night. And here on the second half of a back-to-back, he had a really nice performance. It's just interesting the way NBA basketball goes. You know, a lot of times, two good teams, it's going to come down to a few key plays at the end of the games. There were some crucial challenges that both coaches made that were successful on. That's why that challenge rule is just outstanding in close games, to at least get the calls right. And those calls made a big difference, and a couple key plays made the big difference in this game.
All righty. As always, Monica McNutt helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. She now joins us. Monica, what do you think about tonight's ball game?
There's a lot of good to take away from it. I thought Mitchell Robinson was outstanding. I thought the two stats that stand out to me, and I will correlate them to a little bit of fatigue, which happens in the marathon of an 82-game season. Turnovers. The Knicks gave up, I believe, 16 points off of turnovers tonight and had just 2 points off of the 11 turnovers that the Sixers had, and the Knicks gave up 18 turnovers. And then the three-point shooting. It is still a tough task for the Knicks to survive a night where they shoot just 25% from the three-point line. And so while it is unfortunate that this crowd in this court had to be touched by a loss, which has been foreign to this team for so long, in the ebbs and flow of a long season, I think you mostly focus on the productivity from Mitchell Robinson tonight, who had an outstanding career night.
Monica, help me figure out how good this VJ Edgecombe is. I mean, he came out of nowhere in the fourth quarter in crunch time and just made the back-breaking plays that really hurt the Knicks.
Yeah, well, you know, he had his historic rookie performance with those 34 points to start the season. He's in a class of guys that are few and far between to put up monster nights on their very first debut in the NBA. But tonight, I think, Wally, the thing about his game that might be underrated is his strength, right? And that is both to finish in traffic, but also to maintain his stamina late in the ball game when he hit what I figured was, I won't call it a full-on dagger, but it was a big three late in the ball game. And so I think VJ Edgecombe is the real deal, but how often do we see talent that is the real deal not land in a system that suits them? I don't know that he could have landed in a better position as being the running mate alongside Tyrese Maxey when you look at his natural skill set. So I'm excited. That young man should definitely be on your all-rookie team, and I personally wouldn't be surprised if he made a push to get Rookie of the Year as well.
I agree, and he's almost like a Tyrese Maxey 2.0. They're very similar players. He might not be as polished as far as shooting his threes and, you know, finishing yet, but I'm with Monica. His defense is really good, too. I mean, this team really pressured up on the Knicks. Kolek and Jalen had to deal with a lot of pressure getting the ball up the floor, and I think that really disrupted the Knicks' offense, getting easy shots and getting into their rhythm.
So you got Edgecombe, right? You got Jared McCain. We talked about him in the pregame. He was
good.
Effective.
Yep.
Quentin Grimes helps him off the bench.
Definitely.
The ageless Andre Drummond still makes a contribution. And you also...
Wait, time out, Pidto, because me and Tyler were arguing about this. So, Wally, I need your input. And Tyler Murray contends that the 9-point game is the 3 threes from Andre Drummond. I don't think it's that simple. But he's like, this late in a dude's career, you don't evolve as a 3-point shooter. I'm like, look at what Brook Lopez did. And I was like, on a night where Mitchell Robinson also has a career night from the free throw line, shooting is so much a part of today's NBA that for a guy like Andre Drummond, you're not around for 14 years if you're not at least attempting to add that to your game.
Right, and you put all that together with Tyrese Maxey, and they have some weapons. We don't talk a lot about Philly. I don't think the national media talks a lot about it because of all the injury problems with Embiid, the issues with Paul George. But you got Maxey and some of these supporting players, Monica. They might be a team to keep an eye on.
There was a stat that I was watching down the stretch, you guys. When it comes to clutch time defensive rating, in the month of December, now it is isolated, but just think about the run that this team has been on. They've been playing decent basketball. They are 5th in defensive rating in the clutch in the month of December at 98.9, which means that they're holding teams to less than 1 point per 100 possessions in the clutch because they've played about 84 clutch minutes coming into tonight. Obviously, tonight will alter that stat. But as much as we talk about offense in this league, and don't get me wrong, they shoot 36% as a team. Tyrese Maxey is the top 3 scorer in the entire league. I think, Wally, what is underrated as we talk about VJ Edgecombe is they've got 3 guards on the floor, usually 4 players, I think, that are willing to push up, body up, and be physical on the defensive side of the basketball. And maybe it's 5, depending on who they want to go with at their 5 position, if they go with their bigger lineup or a smaller one.
Yeah, Nick Nurse loves mixing stuff up. I mean, you're going to see a mad scientist on that sideline just throwing out all kinds of different combinations and lineups, and it worked for them tonight. So the Knicks are going to have to figure it out. They got a meeting with them in a couple weeks, and I can't wait to get them back.
All right, Monica, as always, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you on Sunday. Knicks play host to Miami. Pregame at 5:30, game at 6.
Sounds good.
All right, up next, post-game comments from Knicks coach Mike Brown as the Knicks fall to 19-8, only their second loss in 15 home games. We'll hear from the Knicks coach coming up.
The Knicks post-game show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Neither team tonight had a double-digit lead. Sixers prevail by 9, 116-107. We continue now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So next up for the Knicks, they are back home to play host the Miami Heat. Sunday, 5:30, pregame, game at 6. So far this year, the Knicks are 1-2 against Miami, but the one win did come here in New York. Let us now listen to the postgame comments from Knicks coach Mike Brown, as always, presented by Chase.
You got to give Philly a lot of credit. They got up into us, and it bothered us a little bit. We had 18 turnovers. The game was lost in the turnover game. We had 18 of them for 16 points compared to their 11 for 2 points. And, you know, not every time they were in us, we turned it over. But I think just the cumulative impact of it or effect of it throughout the course of the game caused us to turn the ball over. So give them a lot of credit for doing that, and you know, which helped them get a win. I thought we had some pretty good looks that normally go down for us that didn't go down for us tonight. But heck of a game by Philly.
You look at the teams that are high turnover teams. They're usually teams that pass the ball a lot. You guys are a team that passes the ball a pretty good amount, but you've been a low turnover team this year. What do you feel like has allowed you guys to be able to actually maintain that in general, and what do you feel like you kind of got away from tonight?
You know, I just thought our spacing wasn't great all the time. And, you know, normally we have pretty good spacing. Normally we get to the play after the play, but we get into our actions a little quicker. We were a little slow getting into our actions, not just bringing the ball up the floor at times because they kept turning us, but also starting the dominoes. Like if we started with a pick and roll, we walked from point A to point B, and when you walk from point A to point B and it takes you 5 seconds, the defense is sitting there loading up. And then when you don't put any pressure on the paint, you know, it's when we did set the screen, the times we rolled, we got great results. The times that we just kind of stood there or kind of half rolled and let them kind of get back in front, we struggled. And when we didn't get our cuts in our offense, we struggled. But like I said, more importantly, just getting to a second action with great spacing was a little tough tonight.
Did just the ball pressure from Philly's guards, they like to pressure the ball.
Yeah.
And, you know, they push the pace. Obviously, they're, you know, with Maxey and VJ attacking the rim. But did their ball pressure impact you getting into that action?
Yeah. That's what I said to start. I thought they were really good with their ball pressure, you know, and not only, again, with their ball pressure, but their physicality. You know, we times when we tried to cut, they held us, but in a way that, you know, it wasn't a foul, but it was just real physical, and they knocked us off our routes. And when we tried to go play pick and roll, we walked into it. They knocked us off our routes, and so we never set any really good screens. And again, when that happens, you have to up your level of physicality on the offensive end while trying to increase your pace with great spacing in order to combat that, and it was a little tough for us to do tonight.
Mike, how do you balance this being your third game in as many days and knowing that these guys are definitely just physically exhausted with also trying to uphold a standard and uphold certain defensive principles throughout the course of a season?
I mean, obviously, it's tough. These guys are human, but at the end of the day, we try to pride ourselves on being a no-excuse team, and we're going to go out and try to play, at the highest possible standard or highest possible level, and most times we'll probably have it, but tonight we didn't. And, chalk it up, hopefully, as a learning experience, and we get some rest and get ready to get the next one on Sunday.
Mike, how big for Mitch's confidence is it for him to hit 7 out of 8 free throws tonight?
He's been working hard at it. It's a process. Peter Patton's done a great job with him. Mark Ryan's done a great job with him. But more importantly, Mitch has bought into what they're trying to work with him on when it comes to free throw shooting. And it's good to see, anytime you can see positive results, that breeds confidence, not just in the individual, but also in the rest of the group. So it was good for him tonight to do that.
As a head coach, Coach Marlowe, obviously other teams try to intentionally foul him to get him out of the game. How many coaches like this think twice about doing that? They didn't do it tonight, obviously.
Maybe, I don't know. That the first time that they intentionally fouled him, he went and knocked down, I think, 2 free throws, and then they stopped from there. So we'll see.
OG, just 2 points, a little more passive than usual. Just what were they doing a good job of containing him?
I thought OG had a couple of great looks from the three-point line, and I thought he was aggressive on his drives, and he didn't get any calls. It's one of those. It's a weird game, and the officials they got a tough job, but I don't know if I'll ever understand what's a foul, what's not a foul, because guys, especially quick guys, they'll put their head down and they'll drive the ball from point A to point B, and if you lead with your chest and they're able to flop, or fall off you good enough, it's a foul. And OG's a big, strong guy, and when he drives, he doesn't do that. He's trying to attack the rim, and he's getting rerouted on his drive, but he can't seem to get a call. So I thought his aggression was there. He just couldn't get to the free throw line. I thought he had a couple of good looks from the three-point line, and it just kind of got away from him. But, again, I'm not sure what he can do right now to get a call on his drives. Not necessarily always at the rim, but I'm talking on the drive, because he's getting hit just like everybody else is, but he's a little bit bigger than some of those other guards that are getting the calls.
And it'll be only 2 points, as Coach mentioned, and did not get a single attempt from the free throw line.
Yeah, he tried to attack, though, a couple times. He was on the wrong side of that challenge when he went up to try to dunk over a Dembona. It's just one of those games. It's a back end of a back-to-back. I love the way Coach doesn't make any excuses. The schedule's been really tough. The Knicks were right there. It was a couple possession game, and they got some things they got to clean up, especially the next time they see Philly in a couple weeks. This is a team. Nick Nurse is known for creating turnovers. That's what he wants to do, pressure up. He's got really good athletes, aggressive physical defenders at the guard positions, and the Knicks are going to have to be ready for that for the next time they play him.
Tyler Kolek appeared bothered by some of the pressure. 4 turnovers for him in a single game. We haven't seen that all year. And Josh Hart did grab 10 rebounds but scored only 5 points. We continue on the post-game show. Knicks lose for only the second time all year at home, losing to Philly 116-107. I thought it was interesting while I listened to Knicks coach Mike Brown talk about the fact that the Knicks couldn't get their offense. They couldn't get the pace going. How come?
Well, what I noticed was Philadelphia was picking up almost 94 feet. They were not allowing the Knicks to get the ball over half court without guys pressuring them and forcing them to start their pick and rolls almost at half court. You could see Tyler Kolek trying to get over to his left hand off a screen and roll, and he couldn't because Grimes was not letting him go where he wanted to go. So the Knicks are going to have to come up with counters and figure it out.
Talked before the segment here, they missed Deuce McBride.
They did.
Hopefully he's back.
Defender like
Hopefully he's back soon from that ankle injury. Good game from Mitchell Robinson, also Tyrese Maxey. Stay with us.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
And the Knicks lost tonight to the Sixers. Mitchell Robinson, 21-16, and a career best 7 of 8 from the free throw line.
Yeah, we've been working a lot of arc on the free throws. So we went in there this morning, actually, like 10 a.m. early. But it paid off tonight, so, I guess we're going to put that in the routine now.
How big of a difference is it from, I guess, the way you've traditionally shot free throws?
I feel way more comfortable, getting my elbow up under it, getting it up in the air a little more. Yeah, it's been great.
26 minutes tonight, a 21-point double-double, just what was working for you?
Just the energy, my teammates, they was penetrating and stuff like that, so I'm just trying to, help there.
You get a little something extra out of it, too, when you know they're purposely fouling you. You knock them both down. I saw one time you did point to Nick after it made a free throw.
Yeah, I'm trying to stop everybody from doing that hack on me. So that's kind of like the main goal, because I want to be able to play the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? The longer I'm out there, the more I can help my teammates,
Is there, when you rebound, especially on the offensive glass, is there anything you're thinking about, or is it strictly just an instinct and you just reading the ball?
Me, just help my teammates, help my team. More possession we have, just help us have a better chance of winning. Kind of showed tonight. I mean, we ain't win, but it was real close,
But what makes you so good at it?
Just energy and effort, just trying to get it done.
It had been, I think, since the Eastern Conference Finals last year, a couple months ago, that you had made 2 straight free throws, and you did it a couple times. So number one, is it frustrating to go that long without converting at the line?
Yeah, it's aggravating. I was talking to myself about that. I'm like, when am I going to make 2 in a row? I always make one, miss one. I'm like, and then tonight, 2 for 2 in there. Hey.
Did it feel like you were in a zone out there when the majority of your shots are falling?
Yeah, felt great, but don't really mean too much because we lost.
All right, Robinson had the 16 rebound night, 6 offensive boards. The form from the line looks a lot better.
I thought his form always looked good. He has the mechanics to be a good shooter, in my opinion. It just looks like what the coaches are working on with him is just getting his elbow under the ball a little bit more. That's the key. And then you can get a little bit more arc. On it. Normally he's pretty straight. The thing is, you got to give it a chance to go in by floating it up there a little bit more. And it seemed like that's what he was doing. I think there's just a little bit of a mechanical adjustment, which hopefully he can continue to capitalize on. We've seen players in the NBA who weren't great three-point shooters become very good, serviceable three-point shooters with work and with effort. And part of it's mental, and part of it is a physical little tweak, just like in your golf swing. A physical little tweak can help. That takeaway, needs to get.
I think I need a major tweak, not a little tweak. Mitchell Robinson makes an interesting point. You want to play in the fourth quarter, especially when these games become really important. You've got to be able to shoot free throws.
And in the playoffs, teams have fouled him to try to get him out of the game, and it's left, the coaching staff no choice but to pull him out. And he's too important with the level that he's playing right now to not be on the court for these Knicks. His impact defensively, his impact on the boards, the space that he brings up, takes up, and the effort that he plays with. He needs to be out on the floor, and if he can make free throws, teams aren't going to be able to foul him anymore when he gets offensive rebounds. Because I remember when we played Shaq, anytime he got an offensive rebound, it was just hold him down as hard as you can. Don't let him get an and one, and don't let him get a dunk. Make him earn 2 points at the free throw line. And that's what teams do to Mitchell Robinson. So if he can start cashing in when teams intentionally foul him under there and don't want to give him 2 easy points, because he can cash in at the free throw line, that'll be another huge asset also.
So Robinson 7 of 8 from the floor, 7 of 8 from the line. Best game of the year, 21 points, 16 rebounds. But it's the Sixers who win tonight, 116 to 107. Continuing on the postgame show after this. The Knicks next game Sunday here against the Heat, 5:30 pregame. Note that, and the start time at 6. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a postgame show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free, or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.